Ladies and gentlemen, you will not believe what Dylan's made me subject myself to this time.
So, Bradley finally watched Doctor Who. The final episode of the Chibnall era. Bradley, how did you find it?
I found it! Okay, well, okay, yeah, so, basically...
yeah. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for.
Actually, it wasn't very nice. Actually, it was horrible.
I can't believe that the way she went out was attempting to get someone else to sacrifice themselves to detonate a bomb. And no one turning up to bail her out, because that's happened, what, 3 times?
Someone's not here to pull me bum out of the fire!
That's happened, what, 3 times?
3 times?
Or twice, at least twice.
That's funny, because, like, whenever 10 was, like, there were plenty of times where someone took a sacrifice play for 10, but, like, he was always like, no, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and then it's too late. It's like, no, I could have saved that person. But regardless, like, first thing that made me think, okay, what the hell is going on here, is when...
What the shit?
Like, so, the Doctor and Yaz and Dan are flying in the TARDIS.
Flying behind a train.
Yeah, they're flying behind a train. And they get out a ladder, and the Doctor starts going down, and she's like, "Oh, it's a bit short, actually."
I was just thinking at that point, "Oh my god, we're watching the '60s Batman show."
so she's like, "Oh, it's a bit short, actually," and then I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, move the TARDIS down then. But no, they just...
I didn't even think about that.
But no, instead of moving the TARDIS down, they just do jumps. They just jump. And like...
They just jump, and then Dan almost dies, and
Dan,
has a fucking reality check.
I don't understand that. That is like... Bro, he fell... like half the ladder down, looks like he's falling, looks like it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna have broken his leg or something, and they need to deal with that. He just lands it. He doesn't roll, he doesn't do anything, he just lands on his feet like a goddamn cat, and just firms it. It's incredible.
He's got very flat feet, does Dan.
so the Cybermen are there, and they're trying to get this thing,
and then it turns out to be a child, and at that point I thought, holy shit, they're actually going to come back to the timeless child. Same.
Honestly, that would have made a bit more sense than whatever the hell this was. But
it turns out to just be a thing that looks like a child because the Doctor will save a child. No, yeah. I mean, the Doctor should save anyone, but I mean, with this Doctor, it's fairly safe to assume she won't actually bother to save anyone if she doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Jeez, remember all the time previous Doctors would
actually cared about people?
Yeah, and like, she even describes the Canary or whatever it was called as like a sentient energy. Sentient, right? It's alive, it's thinking, it has, it's sentient. It's as, alive as you or me. And for some reason the fact that this was being, this sentient life form, essentially, was being carted in a box by some humans, never, seems to cross her mind.
Oh shit, were they fucking human trafficking, but with...
Yeah, exactly! Are there more slaves? This feels like something you should be concerned about, Doctor. And then the fact that she goes over and says, oh, I've never seen one before. I thought they were just legends. I know, and so okay, so some alien being exists that the Doctor has never seen before that some random human schmucks in a train managed to capture?
Maybe, I mean, we don't actually know that they caught it.
Oh, fair enough.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, that'll be the last time I ever try and do one of those fuckers. I can't be asked. Those AR, the second level AR trading things are so annoying.
Oh. Yeah, and then like they're leaving and they're leaving the train and they go back to Earth to, I guess, I don't know why they went back to Earth for a bit. Oh wait, they went back to Earth for a bit because Dan had a date.
No, Dan had to just give up.
Yeah, Dan had to have a date, and then he says, actually, I don't think I'll be coming back. Don't pick me up in 24 hours. And
Yaz just looks so happy.
Yeah!
She's like, yes! Finally! Lesbians!
Finally some alone time with the Doctor. And it was so weird how borderline caustic her dialogue was towards Dan, and then they had a hug at the end, and I was like, okay, they clearly had some chemistry that I didn't know about. Clearly they have a dynamic. And because she was like, oh, I'm glad to see the back of you. He's like, see you again. She's like, hope not. I'm like, yo, chill out. Oh my god, but like all I was thinking was, so Dan joined for series 13, right? Flux.
Yes,
And
yeah,
Flux
he was introduced. He was introduced in Flux, and Flux was like, so the first 4 episodes were like a week. So Dan basically just having the shittiest time of his life in the space of about a week, and then they jump and we skip like 2 years or something.
Oh, really?
And he hasn't changed at all.
Okay, that's fair enough then, because I was saying to my brother, I was saying at the time,
Fuck's sake.
maybe the reason he's leaving is because I assumed that Flux was like one story arc that just happens, back to back to back.
Yeah,
and
yes.
I was saying to my brother, because we were watching it together, and I said to him, maybe the reason he's leaving is because he just had to deal with an entire story arc of like dangerous bullshit, and then immediately gets thrown into more dangerous bullshit, and maybe he's thinking that this isn't all it's cracked up to be. Because like other companions get like some downtime where they go to a resort or something, and yeah, shit hits the fan, because it always does, but like, when did Dan get to go to like the waterfalls of Karnak, or like the grey streams of Suez or something?
Dan almost dies, that's what gets him.
Poor bastard! Yeah, I don't blame him for leaving. It's like he seems to have just been in danger the whole time. But, yeah, and then they go to the cyber planet, and it's like, oh, the cyber planet. It's full of cyber technology. Yeah, I hope that technology is cyber. But in all honesty, yeah, that's referring to like Cybermen stuff, and that's where we find out that the Kunran or Canary or Cluby Wooby tentacle creature that's glowy and stuff is actually a glowy tentacle creature and not a child.
Because of course.
And the Doctor leaves it, and God, the fact that the Doctor coming back and saving it, fine. The Doctor coming back and saving it by saying, by the way, why don't you just blow up the stuff you're like stuck to, and you'll
it's
be
like,
all right.
Yeah, thanks, man. I never thought of that.
Wow. Plus, you left this thing here for an indeterminate amount of time. At least you could have said, "I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll come back and save you." Like. Oh, and then the Rasputin thing happened. Oh man!
So tell me your initial thoughts when the Rasputin thing first came on.
So we get that back shot of him, and I was I said to my brother, oh, whoa, is that Cisco? Because the hair, right? It's got that long hair.
That was your go-to. It's not the Master, it's Cisco.
Because we see him from the back, we don't see his face. I know it's Sasha. I know that Sasha Dawn was the Master at the time, but it was just that we were seeing his back. So all we could really see is that he had long hair. And I was like, oh, is it Cisco? And then
Cisco's managed to...
Oh, maybe it's Rasputin.
cross to a different channel and go back in time.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that.
And
much
that's more that,
yet.
and somehow that's still moderately plausible in a Chibnall script.
Yes. So, like, I jokingly say to my brother, "Oh, maybe it's Rasputin," and then it actually is Rasputin. But
and then they fucking play.
I was like, what? Why? And then the weirdest thing to me, honestly, was that we never got confirmation for or against the Master actually literally being Rasputin, or like him impersonating him. Like he's like, knocked him out and dragged him into a cupboard and put on his clothes and said, "Oh, well, that's me. I'm him. Yes, I'm Rasputin.
I am the guy.
That's me. I'm that guy." It's like we never got confirmation if that was, what they were going for or not. Because like it wouldn't have been the first time that, oh, this historical figure was actually an alien, or oh, this historical figure was actually the Doctor. We've had those before, but we just didn't get told whether or not it was one of those times.
Mm.
And holy moly, he actually played Rah Rah Rasputin.
And that was it. That was.
It really was so that Chibnall could make that gag, wasn't it?
Well, that wasn't the gag though. The gag was the Cybermen and the Daleks looking at each other and going,
looking at each other
"Why
like,
are we
what?
still here?"
Yeah. They looked at each other like, what on earth is going on? My brother, he said, he said, oh god, they're looking at each other, they've gained self-awareness, they've realised they're in a Chibnall script.
Do you remember when they were like fighting and just having a massive go at each other in Canary Wharf?
Series 2, yeah, that was great, that. They're chill now because the Master said, "Oh, I told them that they hate you more than they hate each other."
I mean, I'm fairly sure they knew that already, but...
Yeah.
I don't really ever understand the reason that the Cybermen hate the Doctor. They don't really seem like they should care.
Oh, yeah, good point. Never actually thought about that.
Their main objective is just to convert all humans.
Yeah, into Cybermen.
So, and the Doctor stops them, but I don't think, how many...
I wouldn't make them change their
especially considering that they seem to be the be-all and end-all of the human race, given what Chibnall's implied, and that bad episode on the
Why did you kill him?
amusement planet, where it's like the war against the Cybermen is constantly going on.
He dropped the body there.
But it doesn't seem to be a winning battle from how fast and how powerful they are.
Someone must have
Yes.
He was covered in cuts and bruises.
So it kind of seems odd that they would care what the Doctor's doing.
That's very true. The Daleks, fair enough.
The Daleks fucking hate everything and everyone, but the Doctor is, the reason they lost the Time War. But I mean, I guess everyone lost the Time War except the Doctor.
He was the only Time Lord victorious.
Ooh.
Augmented reality training online.
But yeah, he's. Oh, and then we get to like the unit plot line and all of that, and we had and Ace shows up. It's like whoa, it's Ace, and then she's video calling Tegan. Holy moly, Ace and Tegan, and then really awkward dialogue where they say each other's names.
Oh Christ, yeah. For the people who haven't been paying attention.
Like, oh God, couldn't that have come up more naturally in conversation than like, Tegan, what are you talking about? I'm talking about this, Ace. Like, guys, come on. But yeah, here's Ace and Tegan, and that's lovely. It's Ace and Tegan from the classic series, and you already know that.
We get it, guys. We get it.
Like, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. You had no idea for how to make a dramatic plotline, so you threw Cybermen and Daleks and the Master into a melting pot, along with previous companions, and called it a day.
I mean, to be fair.
I mean, I guess that is what a lot of finales end up doing. They have lots of the different villains to, like, raise the stakes a bit. They have callbacks to previous companions to you know, harken back to previous stuff and maybe close up some of those plot threads and you know, see how these characters have grown since being with the Doctor and everything.
I can never remember if there's a Azrael watching you in this area of town.
You know what I thought was really polite of the Cybermen, though? Like, how they only attacked the unit building. Like, that was really... that was proper nice of them. They just decided to isolate themselves into that building and shoot at only unit people. You know, not going to freak anyone out. Let's make this a...
I mean, they obviously didn't, you know, it's like the Cybermen don't have the budget to attack on the wide scale.
Oh, yeah. And then, oh, there's... Oh, all of the paintings have been changed to look like the Master. And it shows, like, the most photoshopped looking things ever.
Oh, fucking hell! No, that wasn't Photoshop, that was AI art.
What? Wait, seriously, or like?
No, that's what everyone reckons, though.
Oh, right, fair enough.
I mean, do you not think that that's just Sacha Dhawan Master in famous paintings in the style of famous artists?
I can imagine that, yeah. And then, oh, we've got a seismologist.
Shit.
Oh, let's go and talk to the seismologist. Oh my God, it's the Master. And they go into the room and he's used his shrink something or other to shrink seismologists. And just to let you know that the process is fatal, the Doctor makes sure to mention, you killed all these people! Because
they students as well?
Apparently, the Master says they were seismologists, like all the best seismologists. And I was thinking, imagine watching this as a seismologist and realizing you didn't get picked by the Master as one of the best seismologists in the world, you know?
I don't think they would care that much, Brad. I don't think it would break their hearts. I've got to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was the thing with the static, which me and my boy...
Oh, that was like, Jesus Christ, could you be more obvious?
We had to pause it, like, right there, with not just for the obviously not normal static special effect that they put on, but for how bizarre the dialogue was.
Yeah.
I mean, Tegan just says, like, "Ouch! You gave me an electric shock." Like, would a human being say that? Like, what, ouch, you shocked me, or static, or like, ow, you gave me an electric shock. I don't know, it just seemed
it is a bit specific.
Yeah. But nitpicking aside, then again,
I mean,
I'm doing, but
I feel like nitpicking is, yeah, it's just so fucking weird.
Oh God, the volcano scene's up next, isn't it? And
oh Christ, and yeah, Graham.
Oh my God, and here's
I was actually so happy to see Graham. It was. I was like, when you realise that's the character you love.
Yeah. I mean, Bradley Walsh certainly tried his hardest, didn't he? And like, more power to him for that. But you know, because there's that whole thing of like a traitor Dalek is like.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting concept. That was wasted.
Yes, yeah, it certainly is. I mean, what confused me was how the Doctor, she was like, oh, there's a Dalek turning against the Daleks. That never happens. That's never happened before.
That's happened like 4 times before.
So Rusty is chopped liver now.
I mean, Rusty was hardly ever a good character, but, you know, I mean, off-screen, Rusty decided to hate the Doctor again.
Guess so. Like,
Rusty was always a bit bizarre.
Yeah, let's say, oh, this Dalek has turned against his people, and even the reasoning was actually surprisingly made sense. Because, like, didn't he say something like, we were originally made to uphold the car-led race?
Yeah.
But over time, we've started just fighting
killing every other race.
Killing everything else other than Daleks, including car-leds. So I think we need to stop doing that.
It was very imaginative naming on Davros's side, wasn't it?
I know, right? Yeah, just flip the D and the K. They'll be fine.
That'll do.
Watch me make a biological super weapon and call it Newmar. Call them Newmars. But so they're in the volcano, and they're right next to the volcano, right next to the lava, and I guess we're gonna claim like TARDIS protection or magic clothes or something, because they should have been igniting at those temperatures. But let's ignore that for a second, because she goes to talk to the traitor Dalek, and the Dalek's like, wait, what did it even do? What was it even there for? Did it oh, it wanted to give her some data, so she plugged a USB into it. And then
it's good to know that they use modern technology.
and then there's a bunch of non-traitor Daleks, and they were following the traitor Dalek
because it was a setup.
Because it was a setup. Surprise, surprise. And then they shoot the traitor Dalek, and he's like, no, and blows up. And then they're like, get into the casing, Doctor. And she's like, no, I won't do that. And then they were like, get into the casing, Doctor. And she was like, oh, okay. Stumbles backwards into the casing. I was like, damn, I thought she'd put.
But this is the second time since Flux that the Doctor's been forced into an enemy.
Really?
Oh, you haven't seen Flux, have you?
No, I
no, on your Watch Dogs videos, I did rant at following the final episode that they didn't fucking save the universe.
Wait, what? They didn't save the universe?
They didn't actually bother to come back and you know to fix the universe on screen.
Oh right. Oh wow. Okay.
So everyone watched Flux and was like, is that it?
Did we win?
And the answer is, well, because they never have any suggestion that the universe has been brought back. So it's just Earth. Earth is alone. He didn't fucking specify if the sun was taken out, because I'm fairly sure without the sun, we'd be fucked.
Wow. That feels a pretty important thing to have glossed over.
But and then in the first episode, in the next special, they're going on like, oh yeah, you saved the universe, Doctor. You deserve a holiday. And it's like, oh, so you did save the universe.
Oh, cool.
Off screen, did you?
Yep. That is shocking.
It's impressive.
Pun somewhat intended.
But it is actually impressive how shit he is.
Yeah.
At writing.
Yeah, that. I mean, that's the climax, isn't it? You can't end the thing without the climax.
But the universe isn't brought back, so it's just Earth.
Oh, wait. So it ends on her bringing Earth back, but not the rest of the universe, and then it's just.
Well, no. It's implied. I mean, you don't even really see her save Earth. Earth isn't really in danger because there's a million dogs around her, but then all the dogs are dead. So I guess there isn't a million shield dog ships. It's the whole like man's best friend. So this like race of alien dogs come to the rescue of humans. But I mean, where have they been every other time Earth's been in trouble?
I would love to know if that makes more sense in context than it does.
It really doesn't. But basically, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Chewie." It's not. It's a dog. But yeah, but anyway, we won't get into Flux. But wait, well, why did we bring up Flux? Oh, because at one point she gets turned into a weeping angel, and it's really cool. It's a really cool concept and a really cool end to the episode and a really good cliffhanger. And then it gets undone seconds later, and it just turns out that it was basically a taxi service in the form of a stone angel.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
The Doctor becomes a weeping angel at the end.
That was used for cheap thrills of like, oh, cliffhanger.
Well, it was a good episode.
If it was a good episode, then fine.
But and it was a really good way of ending the episode. But then Chibnall comes back because that's the one episode he didn't have a hand in.
Wow.
And then he comes back, and immediately the cool concept left over from that previous episode gets immediately undone, and it's like, oh, it was the taxi service. Being turned into a weeping angel was a taxi service.
Mm.
Did you figure out what the numbers mean? Yes, it's just one of Riddler's games. He gave you something. Right?
Yeah, so she ends up in the Dalek, and then the Dalek, being in the Dalek, lets them teleport her to, like, the Master, and
Rasmaster.
Rasmaster. Sasha Dewan.
Rah rah Rasputin, do 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 do.
And he says, I'm gonna. This is the day you die. Like, this is the end of your existence. It's like, ooh, scary. What's gonna happen?
And I thought they were gonna give the actors an opportunity to really show off and be fun, you know? Because next he's like, I'm going to force you to regenerate into me.
Oh, right.
Okay. So, wouldn't it have made sense if either the Doctor regenerated into the face of the Master, but was now... But Jodie was... Oh no, wait, but Sacha Dhawan was now acting like Jodie?
Yeah, they switch minds but not bodies kind of thing.
Or the other way around.
Wait.
Jodie now has to act like the Master, because it's the Master controlling her body.
Yeah.
You know, either of those would have been interesting. No, it's just... there's just two Masters now.
There's two Masters now, except except Rasputin Master is just like taking a power nap in the box.
Yeah, he's just hunched over in the box.
Just conveniently taking a power nap.
Until he's needed again.
Wouldn't it have been faster, more deadly if there were two Masters running about? Like we.
Oh, they don't have the CGI budget for that, Brad. Come on, this is off the bloody TV license.
That is true.
In fact, everyone started dodging the moment Flux finished without saving the universe.
So So his plan is to become the Doctor by making the Doctor regenerate into him,
and then he just controls the body.
And then he controls the body and does like evil stuff to.
But I mean, he doesn't, because he sets himself up on a planet looking at a war and then takes credit for it.
Yeah, yeah.
He never actually shows him doing anything bad. He makes a weird amalgamation of various Doctor outfits, goes to a planet, takes credit for a war that he probably wasn't even involved in, probably. But I mean, Chibnall writing off screen, who knows?
I'm the Doctor and I did this, and it's like, well,
yeah, but you look like the Master, mate.
Yeah, like if you're trying to undo what the Doctor's done,
he could have just put a wig on. He could have just put a wig on and got the same effect. I'm the Doctor.
I mean, since it was literally just Sacha Dhawan, he could have just put on that outfit instead of the Rasputin outfit. Flown his, because he had a TARDIS as well. Like there was a police box on the cyber planet.
Yes, but it was purple.
Oh, it was purple. And she says like, oh, this must be the Master's TARDIS, and like, why didn't he just take that, put on the outfit, put on his silly previous Doctor's outfit, go over where he felt like, and started calling himself the Doctor. If this was the whole plan, because it's not like the Doctor hasn't done bad things before. Like, I mean,
this Doctor.
And then. Like, do you remember that one?
Did you watch the episode where she sent him to the Nazis?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it because it's pretty fucked up. even for like someone like the Master, like, did he really deserve that? She just left him out to dry with Nazis.
Okay, is that totally inverted then? Ah, you fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, so he's taking credit for this planet's war, and apparently that's gonna like ruin the Doctor's reputation. And then Yaz just more or less shoves him outside.
Yeah, she just shoves him over and takes the TARDIS, and that's it. That's the end of her plan.
Yeah. But it's also totally the end of the Master's plan too, because what is he actually gonna do? He's stuck there with no plan, with no TARDIS, no way of getting off worth a damn, and he seriously does just sit there and meditate until Yaz comes back and says, "Oh, I'm totally on your side now."
She's like, "Oh yes, I realised you are the Master."
Yeah, Sacha Dhawan's probably like one of the only dudes in the world to have technically played the Doctor and the Master. Big technically.
That's weird. How do you do the fucking... Bradley, I don't remember,
How do you do what? How do you hit the wall? Or
how there's supposed to be a function where if you pull back, you can basically go in the opposite direction. But Batman doesn't do it, he just goes fucking sideways.
Oh. That's unfortunate for the purposes of trying to complete this Riddler challenge.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to, he's just going sideways. He's supposed to... Maybe I'm supposed... No. Maybe they didn't add it until night. Oh, fuck you. Oh, I really don't like... That's the thing, I've played Night so much that whenever whenever it turns out they added a feature for Night, I'm annoyed that it wasn't in the previous ones. I thought it was just because I was playing with inverted flight controls, which I've never done before. No, he literally can only go sideways, that's it. Well done, Batman, you're officially shit. Oh, fuck! So what happened next? Oh, the companions did some shit.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Doctor, as in the 13th Doctor, is in
the nightmare realm.
Yeah, she's in the cliffs of being almost but not quite dead, like straight out of Princess Bride. No, she's only almost dead. and then oh look, it's David Bradley, the second guy, oh well, actually third guy to portray the first Doctor. And it's like, oh right, okay. And then he turns into like Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann. Like, oh, Peter Davidson as well, and it's like, oh, cool.
And then they show up as holograms.
Then they show up as holograms so they can give closure to the companions of Tegan.
Oh, I dislike this. Oh, the flight controls are so stiffy.
And then there's the volcano scene with Graham. He just rocks up in a volcano.
I mean, Graham does make me happy.
I mean, I'm glad he was there too, but he was also there in a volcano with psychic paper.
Melting.
Not melting. Where did he get the psychic paper? Like, was he given it before the end of series 12
yeah,
or
but
something?
like, they leave. But, you know, him and Ryan's just fucked off.
Oh yeah. They couldn't get his actor back. So they just pulled the Rose Tico. Oh, he's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy. He can't save the world, he's busy.
But, I mean, the whole kind of, they talk about, fuck. Like, the whole point of them leaving is because, you know, they want to go back to a normal life.
Yeah.
And then they have, like, 5 minutes of a normal life. They recreate the whole bike scene from the very first episode of Whittaker's Run. And then they decide, and they say, oh, I'm bored now. But normal life is kind of boring, isn't it? Shit. Maybe we should go investigate, like, this thing. Which is, of course, how it works. But like, they say they're going off to live a normal life, so why the fuck did the Doctor give him her psychic paper? If he's gonna, you know, go back to life as a bus driver and just doing normal stuff.
If you hurt them,
yes.
I will hunt you down.
but no, he's here, and then Ace is there with her bat of beating up Daleks, and she beats up a Dalek, and Graham's like, whoa, that was cool. And the rest of the audience is like, yeah, but it was kind of cooler the first time. And then they blow up 2 more Daleks, which means, like, Ace has a higher Dalek kill count than probably some Time Lords now.
Oh, definitely. The Time Lords were shit at killing Daleks. I mean, the only one who's probably got more Dalek kills is Rose.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
I mean, she killed an Emperor. Not the Emperor, but an Emperor.
Yeah, because of course, a bunch of them. She was the Bad Wolf.
The Bad Wolf. The Phoenix.
Oh, yeah! Kind of, actually, yeah.
You know, that happened at Riverdale recently.
What?
You know Riverdale, yes?
I know Riverdale. Is it the CW show, right?
The CW show, you know, about teenagers trying to solve a murder mystery in season 1. But they're all teenagers at a school.
What is it called again?
Most recent series. One of them has Phoenix powers.
Okay. Why? How?
How
many episodes is this thing? Because this can't be
like
you've said
many
some weird
seasons
shit before. I remember
I've said some weird shit before.
When I was playing Watch Dogs, you brought up that that in Riverdale there's a canonical serial killer gene.
Oh yeah. Well, there's like 5, 6, or 7, maybe 9 series. I don't know how many there are now.
But let's see. Can't just be 6, can there?
I think it might be. It might be season 6. But like the world was going to end until a character lifts up their hands and basically does a Dark Phoenix to save the world.
Okay. Sure.
That's how that works.
Veronica takes everyone's powers and transfers them to Cheryl as part of a spell to stop the comet. Okay. Let me look at what one of the first season's episodes is like.
I like your style. You're like, okay, this is where we're at now.
Yep, they really are talking about we got to solve this serial murder case. Okay.
Ah, for God's sake, too low.
Yeah, so... And then what happens? Oh yeah, I forgot to bring up the fact that, there's this plan that the Daleks and the Master have, which was foreshadowed with the seismology stuff, where he's going to... Well, they're all going to, like, fire every volcano off at the same time to destroy the world.
Which makes no sense because, you know, Cybermen kind of like the world.
They just want the people to be a bit more cyber. And I mean, Daleks blowing up the world, fair enough, but they're gonna hit us with all the volcanoes. Oh no, all the volcanoes. Which I guess they must have done something to the lava because holy free holies. There's that after Graham and Ace are done beating up some Daleks, the volcano erupts and it actually takes out some Daleks. And I would have thought...
I can't fucking remember how to do half these. Oh, there it is.
Personally, I would have thought that if Daleks can be destroyed by lava, that the Time Lords would just, you know, make some lava guns or something.
Oh yeah, because they all get fucking extinguished, don't they, by the actual volcano?
Yeah, they get messed up by a volcano. By lava. Normal lava. Which... I mean, it's definitely...
Possible?
I guess it's possible. But it kind of makes Dalek casings come across as a little bit easy to destroy.
Weak?
Like
Yeah.
Just a high enough temperature is enough for them. Easy peasy. And like, Time Lords literally make time machines. If they can't make a Mick Rory heat gun, then what's even the point? And then what how do they actually turn the Doctor back into the Doctor again? Like, Yaz comes back and says, "I'll be your friend now," and then what? They teleport.
Oh no! Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, so many of these games' mechanics don't work.
Oh, punched him in the neck.
Yeah, but I needed to talk to that fucker, and it auto-glocked him.
Batman would never.
I mean, Ben Affleck's Batman would.
God, he actually had a rifle in that scene. It's so bizarre. It looks a bit out of place. Yeah, she brings him. Like, somehow the Master ends up back, or rather the Doctor ends up back, and they're like, "Oh, we need to do a forced degeneration." And
yes, because all of those were words that definitely made sense.
Yeah, degeneration. Okay, sure.
I mean, that's how they're explaining Tennant.
We degenerate now. So, like, Master Doctor degenerates back into 13th Doctor, and then
technically making her second time the 15th because the Master was the 14th, and The 15th, so Tennant should technically be the 16th, and Shooty should be the 17th. Amazing how Chibnall managed to have only 3 seasons with Doctor Who. And only one Doctor, but at the same time, somehow completely managed to fuck up the numbering.
Even harder than when, like, it was so simple. It was so simple before Moffat decided there was a War Doctor.
I think, well, the War Doctor was supposed to be Christopher Eccleston, but he didn't want to do it, so they were like, okay, have another. To be honest, John Hurt is fucking stellar in that role.
Yeah, that is true. Then after all of that, the Doctor goes to the cyber planet and uses the cyber stuff to fire cyber stuff.
Cyber bullshit.
Cyber bullshit.
To freeze into steel, Bradley. To steel. Get the terminology correct. But, I mean, that would cause problems, right?
Oh, absolutely.
If all the magma in the world suddenly became steel...
I mean, I guess...
America would have a fucking field day. They'd go into war with everyone which had a volcano in the country just because that would be a fucking resource where America would be like, yep, time to do a war.
Oh, you know what? I think this volcano-having country needs a bit of freedom right about now. But hold on a second. Wait. I think I may or may not have. Okay, so maybe we're supposed to believe that only, like, what we saw turned into steel and, like, the rest of the magma's fine, right? But that doesn't work either. Because, like, okay, if only some of it turned, then some more of it is still lava, right? Some more of it is still magma.
Yes.
Magma's really flipping hot. That magma is gonna instantly melt, possibly vaporize the steel, because the melting point of metals is really low compared to the melting point of rock. Like,
well, but Brad, it's cyber steel.
Yes, it's cyber steel. Yes.
You can never forget that it's cyber steel.
Frozen. What? Oh, frozen bait. That space threw me for a loop there for a second.
Phrasing, man. It's all about the phrasing.
And then the Doctor is like, okay, you can go now, Quinari, space thingy. Sure, bye-bye. And it starts firing lasers all over the place and blowing up the stuff, and then
he comes back and goes,
I can't be you, then you can't be you.
He actually has an interesting line where he's like, no, I don't want to be me, or something like this. And I was like,
me go back to being me.
Just me, and it's like, fucking hell. That line has so much more potential than anything else Chibnall has ever written, and he squandered it immediately. Because he can't fucking write, cause you had a bad day. Do-do-do-do-do. Is there anything else you want to talk about in Doctor Who? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what have I done?
I want to mention how borderline irrelevant the thing was of like
the thing, the orange guy.
The regeneration, right? Like,
yes. Which one?
Okay.
Which one, Brad? There were 3.
The last one. Like, what made her regenerate was, she just got hit by a laser.
She got hit by, like, a pendulum laser.
And then the Master just zapped her by, like, redirecting the zappy thing's zapper to zap the Doctor with. And it's like, oh, really? Okay. Like, 9 regenerated into 10 by, sacrificing himself to get the...
Hey, look, Mr. Freezer's just been on his knees ever since you beat him up, like, hours ago.
Oh my god! He's just taking a breather.
It's a very long breather.
In the Falcone shipping yard.
He really, when he doesn't have anything to do, he just sits around. That's why his wife's been stuck in ice forever. He just can't be asked to actually try and save her. He's the worst procrastinator of all time.
So, 10 regenerated into 11, saving someone. 11 fought a war for like 1,000 years or something.
Yeah.
Died of old age. 12, again, a sacrifice play-ish kind of thing where he stays and fights a bunch of Cybermen.
But then also like stuck around to convince the first Doctor to regenerate.
Yeah. Yeah. So the 13th Doctor regenerated not because of a personal decision to save someone else.
Well, it is kind of fitting when you think of like all the how all the Doctors go out like saving people or standing up for what they believe in. It's like the 12th Doctor died saving basically his family after all his character development where he really didn't like people because he spent so much time on a planet and now feels like he spent so much time alone and going slightly insane on this planet, watching all of the people on the planet he loved die constantly because of how he was always going to outlive them.
Yes.
And
I like how his
he dies saving the small kind of family he's created with Nardole and Bill. Even though Bill's been cybered at that point.
Yeah.
And
he got to answer the question of,
am I a good man? Yeah.
Yeah, he does what he does because it's right, because it's decent, and because it's kind.
But it is very, it makes sense for his Doctor after his character development. Jodie just dying because, why not?
Yeah.
Because Jodie dying because she wasn't paying attention is fairly accurate.
Jodie died because she didn't pay attention, and and then afterwards her hand starts glowing, and she's like, "Oh, I want it.
I want ice cream, and I'm gonna hold it in the hand that would definitely be melting."
But I was. Yeah, would it be accurate to say that her and Yaz are like a thing at this point?
No, because the BBC would never let that happen.
Okay, never mind then. Because I was thinking that they straight up were.
No, they would. They kept. No, they just fucking queer baited for.
Oh, wow.
4 specials.
Damn. Okay. Because I was thinking, damn, you're saying this "I wanted more time" thing. Least you could do is spare your girlfriend a thought and say "with you" at the end of one of those.
No, it wasn't girlfriend at all. It was pure.
They're just besties. They're roommates. Oh my god, they're roommates.
No, it was just pure friend zoning forever.
Ouch.
But to be honest, Yaz is if they actually made Yaz one of her, relationships, after River especially. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go and get this thing. I think we'll wrap this up fairly soon. So, do you want final thoughts on Doctor Who? And then we'll talk about
final thoughts are,
Spider-Verse.
What the hell's going on? Russell T.
Please, you've got so much work to do.
Yeah, he's... let's face it, if he can't save Doctor Who, no one can.
Yeah.
And he already did it once before with the the revival series. Doctor Who was dead in the water for ages until he decided to, do 9 and everything.
Yeah.
The Eccleston series, and he brought it back. He already did that once and made an amazing show out of it once. Can he do it again? Even if he can't, I won't blame him for it. Like even if it turns out a bit naff, I mean.
What do you know about the stuff that's coming after it? Like the Tenant specials and...
Yeah, regarding the Tenant specials, I'm really, really hoping that off-screen, 14th Doctor, portrayed by David Tennant, gets to go on some off-screen adventures off-screen for just like maybe 100 years.
100 years? Fucking hell.
Well, I'm just thinking, 10 lived for 6 years.
Was that it?
Yeah, literally. That's probably one of the reasons why he was so not okay with going, because he only got to live, scare quotes, for 6 years.
I mean, but that's in real time rather than, because he did do a lot of adventures. Because I mean, when we find him in the 50th, he's just pissing about, isn't he?
Okay, if he's actually spent some time pissing about, then fair enough. I just think it'd be really sad for him to have not wanted to regenerate because he's only been wearing this face for a little bit of time and then have to go through the same shit again.
Yeah. Ow, fuck.
Furthermore, I think it's going to be interesting to see if he considers himself, if the 14th Doctor considers himself to be the 10th Doctor, or if that feels like another person to him as well. That's
what I'm wondering. I hope it is a new personality, but with the same face, or a lot of baggage, or kind of unfinished business of the 10th Doctor, but it feels... I hope Tennant basically doesn't play it as the 10th Doctor again, because if they're going to name this whole... for 3 specials, so for 3 episodes we get a whole number. It feels cheap if he's just going to play it as the 10th.2.
True.
And Tennant does have the range, so what if he fucking played it like Kilgrave?
Bruh,
really,
that would be scary.
Really childish, but evil.
Oh my god. He was such a great, he was such a highlight of Jessica Jones Season 1, just because he is, the scariest, from, at least in my opinion. I have never been scared by a villain so much as I have with Kilgrave from Jessica Jones Season 1.
Not, what about when he shows up in Jessica Jones Season 2?
Did he?
Yeah, he's a figment of her imagination after she kills that guy.
Well, yeah, but he just says a couple of things. He's kind of he's there, but he's not there,
He's hilarious. He's the jester on. He's like a jester on her shoulder.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a neat segue into Marvel, which is a neat segue into Spider-Man, which is a neat segue into
Brad learning how to use the word segue.
Have I said segue incorrectly this whole time?
No, but it was just, it feels like you were trying to show off that you knew what it meant.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, until it was said in front of me, until the first time I heard it, whenever I saw the word segue written down, I thought it was pronounced Sieg or something.
Segue.
Or Seegu or something like that.
Segue. I see you.
It's S-E-G-U-E. We're pronouncing that segue? Okay, fine. Segway.
Go for your life.
Where did the way come from? Regardless, Spider-Verse. I heard that someone managed to find PS1 Spider-Man in all of those Spider-Mans.
Yes, they did.
And
PS4 Spider-Man.
Really? I've got to watch this again.
And well, you should just watch any TikTok video about it, because loads of people are just freeze framing for you, and then you don't have to go through it yourself.
I wonder if I just type in PS1 Spider-Man. Nah, that didn't do it.
That would be too easy. I swear Azrael has to be somewhere around here.
I'm gonna say Spider-Verse this time. PS1 Spider-Man Spider-Verse.
Where is Azrael in this area? He's got to be somewhere around here.
Oh my god, you're right. There's Peter Parker and
some guy.
Miles Morales from the PS4 game.
I don't think it is Miles.
What? Why not?
Because it doesn't look like him.
That's fair.
Also, it would kind of be weird if there's like the main Miles in this movie who everyone fucking hates for some reason because of, I'm guessing, something a different Miles did, and that other Miles wasn't getting attacked constantly.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty rough actually. Oh no, wait, that's not the Miles outfit, is it? That's that one that turns invisible in the PS1 game. Not that I know who it is or anything, but...
Well, I think... loads of people... Everyone says a different thing. They reckon it's a weird version of Ben Reilly, or, you know...
That really is PS1 Spider-Man. Holy moly. PS1 Spider-Man, that was like my favourite Spider-Man game on the PS... Wow, damning it with faint praise immediately. What I meant to say, it was like...
it's the only game on the PlayStation. It's automatically the best.
I played it back to back on so many times on the easiest difficulty setting because the controls for the harder difficulty settings were confusing to me and my like 5-year-old brain. No, literally, like it was so weird. There was a kid mode where the controls were simplified, and one of the big simplifications was like you press like X is jump, and then if you press jump in the air, you do a web swing, and in the other modes, it's you press R1 or something in the air to do a web swing, and I was was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have so many different buttons for that? So I just played on that version of the game, and it was so cool because there were so many other characters which I didn't know about. Like you get so many of the rogues gallery. You see the Punisher, you see the Human Torch, you see like Venom and all of that, and then Captain America shows up at the end, and Venom asks for his autograph.
Oh, that's cute.
It's overall just a really cool game. A bit short, but like it's a PS1 game. Can't expect it to be Arkham City
forever.
Or PS4 Insomniac Spider-Man. But for its time, it was pretty cool. Oh yeah, and you know how the PS1 had really crap draw distance?
Yeah, I mean, didn't ever have one, but yeah.
They did a little hand wave at the start of the game where like Doc Ock's plan, he starts by covering the city in a fog or something.
That's quite clever.
Okay. It's because it's foggy. That's why we can't see very far ahead. But yeah. Spider-Verse, it looks great. Don't know.
I kind of want to see a proper story trailer soon, but I mean, I feel like they kind of did something. This is kind of like the first teaser for Spider-Verse. Well, one.
The first one.
But this is the weird thing, is that everyone refers to the first one as Spider-Verse, not Into the Spider-Verse, but now the second one's called Across the Spider-Verse. So are people going to call it Spider-Verse 2 or Across?
Across. Yo, when are we going to watch Across? Yeah, no, they're going to say Spider-Verse 2 for sure. Actually, let me type in Spider-Verse 2 and see what I get.
It will come up, yeah, surely.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, wasn't it?
I only
forgot about that. I mean, I was so used to just calling it Spider-Verse. Speaking of Spider-Verse, when did that come out? 2018.
December 2018. It was just after Stan Lee died.
Ah, that's not as long ago as I thought it was.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was like 10 years ago that they did that one.
I
was like, oh god, they're finally releasing a sequel after all this time. Hasn't been all this time as it happens.
Wait, why 10 years ago? How old do you feel?
I don't know why I thought it was that long ago.
Were you
Maybe
exaggerating 10 years, or are you having an existential crisis?
No, it just feels to me like I had it in my head that it was released in like 2015 or like 2014 or that kind of time frame.
Right, yeah, I guess
rather
that makes
than
sense.
2018. Like to hear it's 2018, it's like, oh wow, that was only 5 years ago. Yeah, I suppose they need that kind of time considering the way the movie is made and everything.
God, yeah, they did.
I forgot Oscar Isaac was in it.
He looks like he's the main villain somewhat.
Oh.
At least as far as Miles is concerned. Fuck it, hell, that poor lad.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. He's getting a bit. Like you said, though, it would be really nice to see some movie, some story. It would be nice to see some story of what can come to expect from this movie in its plot department. Because all we know right now is he's gonna go.
He's gonna go with Gwen on what he thinks is gonna be a nice, lovely date, and he's gonna get his fucking shit rocked by every spider in. This feels very racially motivated currently. It's like, you're not a Peter Parker. Oh, okay.
He's not Gwen Stacy. Actually, I wonder.
He ain't white though, Brad.
Neither was Penny. Wait, what was her name again?
Penny Parker.
Penny Parker, yeah.
This is true.
Oh yeah, he was the only not. Well, there was Gwen as well, but everyone else had a Parker surname or a Parker something or other.
A Parker something or other.
Peter Parker, Penny Parker, whatever the noir guy was called.
Peter Parker.
He was just Peter Parker, okay. And then of course the old mentor Peter Parker.
Yeah, Peter Parker and then Peter B. Parker.
Lots of Peter Parkers about.
I have to remember. Yeah. What, sorry?
So, yeah, it's Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. Coming to a theatre near you.
Coming to a Spider-Verse. Yeah, it's looking. It looks just as visually stunning as the first movie did, of course. But aside from that, we don't really know too much about it to actually discuss. I, for one, absolutely don't, because I don't even have like any knowledge of what Spider-Man stories there are to work with, so to speak.
Bradley, have you just told me something you shouldn't have?
Probably.
Are you going to now get educated on Spider-Man for the next 5 years?
Maybe.
Non-willingly.
I read, like, one of the only... Like, I mean, that's what happened with Spectacular Spider-Man, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then there was Ultimate Spider-Man, I only saw a little bit of.
And then there's the Meg Civ universe, which you definitely need to read through again.
The one with, oh, what was it called? Like one of the only Ultimate Spider-Man episodes I remember is like this one where there's the Sinister Six, and he goes down into some underwater facility, and he calls his gang, but then they don't show up, so he just beats the Sinister Six by himself, and then he gets stuck under a water thingy, and they do If This Be My Destiny.
Wait, that was Spectacular. Or wait, did they do that in Ultimate as well?
They did If This Be My Destiny and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh Christ! I mean, it was popular at the time, wasn't it? Because they would have done it in Homecoming, not far off.
Yeah. Everyone just loves this be my destiny, don't they?
It is a classic moment, to be fair. It is a very, very popular moment.
I mean, it does, of course, capture the
emotion
of Peter Parker.
I think willpower is on Wikipedia as one of his powers. I've already told you what I think the equivalent for Miles should be. Haven't I?
Maybe?
I love that Batman could just fit in this space. Like, no,
What
mate.
would you say that the equivalent for...
Having very good arguments with very powerful beings and getting shit as a result that really changes everything. That was a very bad description. Basically arguing. Miles is not afraid to call people out on their bullshit, basically.
That is a great power to have.
At one point he argues with the power cosmic entity and becomes the temporary Spider Captain Universe or whatever. And he also argued with a god. Well, not really argued, but reasoned with a god, gave him a burger and got his mum brought back to life. As well as his whole family and friend. It's basically his whole life moved across to the main universe by giving a god a burger. And
he gave the god a burger and it... Okay.
Yep, don't question
impressive.
it. That's comics.
That is impressive.
Like, his mum was dead before that, and then gives the god a burger, the god says thanks, and when Miles wakes up, his mum is alive. Like,
that's fantastic.
To be fair, not gonna knock you, Miles. You really were locked out there.
And
on that note, I think this is a good place to wind it up for today.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
Ciao, Arunio.